Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news, this time for the week ending the 28th of August. A little late this time, I was at I-58 Gaming Festival, and a big thank you to everyone that came down at the Star Citizen meetup there. It was amazing to meet you all, and an even huger thanks to Cameron and Disco for coming down there as well. I had an absolutely awesome time, but let's jump into the news. 2.5 has been released to live, adding a whole host of new features. It is worth reading the performance guide I've put together and updated for 2.5 with some common issues and frame rate fixes, CPU and parking bugs. Also, the mini persistent universe has limited performance based on the server, so even powerful rigs are going to see lowish frames. So, with 2.5, we have the new Argo Astronautics MPUV on concept sale until the 5th of September. It's also flyable now in 2.5. A lot of people are going to be using this for a LTI token. You can grab one for $35 or $40 for the passenger one, $35 for the cargo one. The Reliant Core is also flyable now, which is an amazing looking ship. It transforms into kind of looking like a B-Wing. Grimhex is now open for all, effectively. This is the criminal player spawn in the yellow asteroid field. It's a huge new area to explore with unique shops and equipment to purchase as well, and adds another element of gameplay into the game, much more player versus player orientated. CIG's ATV and RTV this week were of a Frankfurt and Gamescom focus, so let's jump into some more information about that. In ATV, we learnt about Miles Eckhart, the quest giver in the 3.0 demo. It took around 3 weeks from filming to implementation using their new tools that they've developed and their more mobile mocap suite to shoot. Turnaround for quest givers done in a similar way could be done in 2 weeks now. They are scheduling another shoot for quest NPCs at the moment for 3.0. Obviously, there will be a mixture of quests in the game, from Covalex to Alpha 3.0 demo kind of quality ones to the Defender mission on Korea. And lots of different levels of mission, lots of different types, some text-based, some audio-based, some a mixture of the two, some with as much video fidelity as we saw in the 3.0 demo. We are now starting to see NPCs' eyes more naturally focus on characters too as well, and that's one of the things they're trying to build, working on a system for that. Gamescom stuff, so Gamescom looks to have been a great success for them with 3.0 and various press coverage now coming out. It has spawned many articles reflecting the culmination of some of the major aspects of gameplay that Star Citizen has now shown that it can provide. CitizenCon is on the 9th of October, and this is going to be the next big event, and it's going to be showcasing some much more impressive stuff we've been promised. This week's MVP goes to Allegred, Brett W, and Gentle Jess for organising this year's Crux or Crew Cup, which is an in-game racing tournament done every year with some actual pretty cool prizes. I'll put a link in the description for that below. We saw some pretty cool 3.0 footage as well, just with a dead body that we saw on the Starfarer. The meat popsicles, as they were. We also learnt a little bit about the navigation messages, which were shown off again in ATV. So this is how AI navigates ships, landing pads, areas in space. The object container system tells the AI kind of what physics grid they belong to and what they're connected to and where they can move around in that area. In RTV, we learn a little bit more about AI subsumption. So subsumption is a collection of systems that include the behaviors of NPCs, animations, missions, and the way that data is looked at and reacted to. To that end, it aims to kind of make NPCs and AI more of a living, breathing AI player, as it were, in a universe where it's possible for them to be ship pilots, man turrets, operate consoles, fight in FPS combat, but also be shopkeepers and civilians getting about their daily business on a planet. They'll react to different players, different threats, have different personalities, and even panic. A lot of different stats will be looked at for NPCs when they do and look and run around and do their own thing. The AI actions, though, don't take up much actual memory. The NPC's actual like model and visual fidelity is going to what's limiting it really. They have tests where they have like 40 AI on screen at any one time without optimization at the moment, and they hope they can do a lot more in the future. It's going to be very important for Star Citizen in general, getting the AI right and making it feel like a living, breathing universe. There was also quite a few more interviews that have been published since Gamescom with Chris Roberts and CIG in general. There was one especially that I saw that I hadn't noticed before from the Star Citizen Italian community, which I will highlight some of the bullet points now. I'll also link the video that was made by them in the description below. There was a question about Orgs 2.0 and when we're going to get it and what we're going to get. At CitizenCon, they're going to be talking more about that. Chris said there's going to be something that everyone should like there. In the future, there's going to be gameplay for solos, small, large, and massive group play at all levels. In the future as well, they're going for a less instanced approach, allowing for more players in a single area now. With their new planet tech, this could also allow for settlements and some base building too, which sounds awesome as hell. But again, that's in the future. There will eventually be tools for modders and modded servers as well. Making CIG's tools more user-friendly is on the schedule, but it's not a priority, not in the next year, basically. Modded servers are likely to have some limitations in some respects, as the main CIG server, the main kind of like Star Citizen experience, has that much larger cloud play system where there's like they'll be talking to a major server, lots of other little servers will be chatting to each other so that lots of players can be persistent over a huge area. Modded servers are more likely to be like maybe 100 players, that sort of thing, possibly in a custom universe, all that sort of stuff. VR is coming at some point once other major parts of the game are complete. It's easier for them to implement VR than some other games would kind of have implementation, as everything is already unified. You're looking out of your face, basically. You're not just a floating pair of hands. And some of their team are original CryEngine team that have worked with VR coding for the CryEngine before. Planets use procedural generation to build out large areas, but a huge amount of the planet will now be artist-driven. So mountains, oceans, whole biomes, down to quite detailed things. The tools that CIG have now created allow them to have crisis level or better fidelity on a planetary scale. That you could create a planet in roughly a day and then starting putting much higher level details in and polishing that planet so it looks like it's a much more constructed approach than No Man's Sky was. Also, the Terrapin is no longer on concept sale, but the Q&As are up for it, giving us a bit more information on that ship and its roles. I'll get a video out on that ASAP, but basically is what it said. It's a scanner, survey, military kind of exploration ship, and it's like a tank. It's relying on heavy armor and heavy shielding to survive kind of missions. Very much a military scout, in my opinion, but we'll talk more about that later. Giveaway stuff. So the proud new owner of a Drake Yellowjacket Dragonfly is a Maleficent Intent. I think I've said that correctly, although you do have 3s in your name, which is confusing. I also now have a new giveaway for the month of September. So running until the end of September, we're trying out something new. I'm giving away that budget PC I made for $100, or however much it was, and I can post that to Europe and possibly America. If someone won, I'll pretty much post it anyway, as long as the postage isn't insane. It's basically the idea, so that's why I'm saying Europe and possibly America. The alternative prize there will be an Argo, so bear that in mind. If I can't get that computer to you, we'll send you an Argo instead. We'll talk about it, we'll see what we can do. And I want to see if it's a sensible thing to do every month or every couple of months when I build a budget PC, or if it's not. So bear with me, hopefully this will be cool. If it's not, then I apologise heftily, and you'll still have an Argo. And to be in for a chance of winning that, all you need to do is comment on any of our Star Citizen content between now and the end of September. And that's it for this week. Please check out Twerk17's glorious article of info runners each week on the redacted website for even more information on the week's Star Citizen news. Link below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe as well. It genuinely does help me. A massive thank you to all my donators and Patreons last month as well. I will be attempting to promote that in the future. Also with some merchandise as well. T-shirts will be coming. I'll be getting loads of videos up between Wednesday and Sunday to catch up as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the verse.